on the beautiful campus of Rochester Christian University and inside of Garth Pleasant Arena. This is Warriors basketball on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you saying hello everyone and welcome to the final game of our Saturday triple header. The Warriors men got us started back at 1 o'clock Eastern time as they picked up the win against St. Francis to begin the day. Michigan Dearborn took on Bethel. That game wrapped up just about 20 minutes ago now here inside of Garth Pleasant Arena, and now the Rochester Christian women will round out the day taking on the Huntington Foresters. Huntington comes into this one 3-2 on the season. This just the second regular season contest for the Warriors so far. They started out the year with an exhibition matchup back on homecoming a couple weekends ago against Division III Alma, and it was a runaway game that day. The final score 80-49. Their first regular season contest was a conference matchup with Michigan Dearborn back on October 29th. They were victorious 77-61 that night. J.C. Summers led the way with 19 points and 6 rebounds. Carmen Lowry had 5 assists on the night as well. We'll step aside, send it down to the floor to public address announcer Mark Stowers.
And now let's meet the starters first for Huntington University. Number 2, Kendra Sheets. Number 21, Natalie Jokum. Number 24, Annika Nelson. Number 32, Allison Price. And number 44, Lil Brady. Your head coach, Darby Maggett. Our assistant, Jeannie Maggett. And Robin Melby.
Get to the starting lineups here for both these teams as they are announced down on the floor, starting with the Foresters of Huntington. They'll start with this 5: Kendra Sheets, Kendall Yoakum, the guards, Annika Nelson and Allison Price on the wings, and the center is Liv Raby. And for the Warriors and head coach Jared Ocampo, they'll counter with this group. The guards, Carmen Lowry, Shahad Bakar, and Ashley Loon. J.C. Summers on the wing, and Kendall Zeider, the other forward. Zeider, as we've made note of, also a member of the women's volleyball team here at Rochester Christian, did not play with her volleyball squad earlier today as they were down in Ohio taking on Northwestern Ohio. Women's volleyball victorious there, 3-0 to finish out their regular season. Will now turn their attention to the WAC tournament here in just a couple days. But again, Kendall Zeider getting the start tonight for Coach Ocampo. Just about set to jump it up. It will be Zeider to take the opening tip for the Warriors. Looks like that's Yoakum that'll take it. Correction, that's Nelson, 24, not 21. Tip is up, we're underway. Huntington will start with it first. They're in the black, corner 3 on the way is through. Yoakum triples from the far corner. Huntington in the black and green, the Warriors in the all white. For Yoakum, she comes in 8.2 points per game on the season as this ball's ripped out of bounds and will go the other way. Warriors will show that full court pressure as they like to do early and often. But Carmen Lowry will pick up an early foul just over 30 seconds in.
And we now Rochester number 3. Starting Lowry first. Team first.
Skip it all the way this way for Price. Drives in, draws a crowd. They swing it back outside. Try to float it back to Price in the corner. It's turned over. Price, just a freshman from Marysville, Ohio, and Marysville High School. Comes in tied for third on the team in points per game, also fourth in minutes played per game. Lowry tries to turn the corner, underhand flip, can't get it to fall, but draws the foul. Foul goes on Sheets, her first. Sheets, a sophomore from Columbia City, Indiana. First free throw's good by Lowry. Lowry, a lot of action a season ago as the second one's up and through as well. Saw time in 20 games last year did Carmen Lowry, made 2 starts. Driving, Raby lost the handle, turns it over to Lowry, has Loon to her right, goes that direction for the lay-in. Loon, of course, known more as a three-point shooter for this Warriors team, but when she can get out on the break like that, she can lay it in. 3 is up and off. Warriors on the run again. This time it's Bakar. Swing it outside. Zeider wants a 3. Bangs it off the side of the rim. Bakar picks the pocket of Allison Price. Then the ball trickles out of play. And they'll say the ball goes back to Huntington. Sheets bounce pass for Yoakum. Back outside, Sheets for 3. One hop off the rim, rebound Summers. Loon sidesteps to a 3. Offensive rebound for the Warriors. Zeider will reset things with Summers. Summers 14.5 points a season ago. Triple try by Lowry, no. Another offensive rebound, this one by Loon. Sheets, straight away it goes. Entry pass swatted and stolen. Couple early turnovers now by Huntington. Summers thought about it. She'll work her way in, had it popped free. That last turnover by Huntington was their 4th. Clock stops with 6:50 to go in the first quarter. Addie Shank will check in for Huntington. Allison Price will sit. Foul goes on Kendall Yoakum. Shahad Bakar to the free throw line. First free throw's good. For Bakar a season ago, 15 starts, played 28 games in total, averaging 15 minutes per contest. Gets 2 at the line there. Bakar, according to her bio, was also picked before last season to represent her country of Lebanon during international play. Looked like she got a hand on it there, almost swiped. Would have been the 5th turnover by Huntington already, but instead it'll be a baseline inbound with 14 on the possession. just inside the arc. Send it to the wing for Liv Raby. Turns, lost her footing, got knocked down. Zider will get her first. Lowry swipes it off the back of the backboard on the inbound. Goes to the baseline looking for Loon. Raby handles it up top on Zider. Tries to go to the corner, but nobody home. And that'll be another turnover by Huntington. That'll be their 6th as a team. Raby already 3 turnovers so far in this one. There's still 5 and 50 to go in the first quarter. Shot is up and off. Both sides relatively cold offensively to begin this one. Raby wants a 3, hit off the backboard, then lipped out. Huntington just 1 of 4 to start. The Warriors 1 of 7 from the floor. Rochester Christian, though, 4 for 4 at the free throw line. Raby checks out after picking up her first foul, team's 3rd. Zider's going to hand it to Lockie, who just came in. Swing it around for Loon. Pass looking for Summers was tipped out of bounds. That was Shank that got a hand on it. Loon to toss in, just above the free throw line for Zider. She'll back her way in, flip it up with the left hand short. Warriors now 1 of 8 shooting to start. 3 is off the side of the rim. Rebound down to Loon. She'll look to push. Goes behind her back, lost it into the hands of Lauren Merritt. And then the wing 3 from the opposite side goes. Huntington just 2 of 6 to start, but both of their makes from the outside. In fact, all of their attempts so far have come from 3-point range. And we're tied at 6. Zider to a 3. 1 hop off the heel. Rebound comes down to Shank. Turns, gives it off to Sheets. Another 3 from the same spot, and it goes. Yoakum goes back-to-back from virtually the same spot. Gives her team the 3-point lead down to the baseline. It goes. Lay it up, but wave it off. They say travel. Simone Andrews and Mila Alls will check in for the Warriors, but first, with 3:47 to go in the first quarter, we've got the media timeout. It's Huntington by 3 after a couple threes by Kendall Yoakum. We'll take the timeout on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. So far for Huntington, 3:47 to go first quarter on the RC Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you. For Huntington, a 3 of 7 start from the floor, all of those coming from long range, good for about 43%. As a team so far this season, come in shooting right about 27% from three-point range so far through 5 games. They average as a team roughly 7 made threes per contest, and they're already up to 3 makes here in the first quarter. Foul goes on Mila Alls. She checked in right at the timeout. Skip it this way for Sheets. She'll drive, float, and fill it. First field goal attempt that we've seen from inside the arc. Huntington now 4 out of 8 from the floor overall. Warriors just 1 of 9. They've knocked down all 4 of their free throws so far. A tie up and the possession arrow will stay at this end. Inbound comes to Tambry Williams, who took that extra step back before the drive, and it's a travel and a turnover. Inbound comes to Sheets. Here's Andrews. Hands it over to Lockie. Now reverse it to Alls, who wants a 3. Banks it in. Hartso, outside 3 on the way, rattles home for Addie Shank. They answer back the 3 by Alls at the other end. Williams, right at the elbow, finds Lockie. She'll curl and come up short. Sheets will race it ahead against Lockie. Back outside it goes for Hartso. Turning baseline is Merritt. Around it goes back to Hartso for 3. Hartso now in her junior season, playing in career game number 29 today. Correction, played 28 games in her freshman season. Followed that up with 8 a season ago, making 7 starts. Has now appeared in all 6 games so far this season for Huntington. Zeider with it, spins middle, layup, does not fall. Final minute, first quarter. It's Huntington by 10. Twirling was Sheets, had her pass knocked away. Directing traffic was Merritt. Gets it over to the corner for Hartsoe for three. This time Rainbow's up and over. And then the follow-up doesn't go, but a whistle and a foul on the putback try by Shank. That'll be the second on Alls. That sends back in J.C. Summers. Shank at the line, first one's good. First free throws of the game for Huntington. Second one rattles home as well. Bakar pushing forward, about a 6-second difference, maybe 7 second between clocks, as Lockie lays it up and in from the baseline. She'll pick up some full court pressure here on Sheets. Shot clock is off, so Sheets gonna just hang out with it at midcourt. Coming out to screen for her is Merritt. And we've got an offensive foul working off the screen by Merritt. That'll leave the Warriors with just over 9 seconds to go in the first quarter, trailing 21-11. Loon will trigger the inbound out there with Andrews, Zeider, Lockie, and Summers. Gives it off to Loon, steps into a three, pushed it just to the right, and that is how the first quarter will end. Huntington up by 10 after 10. We'll step aside, come back with some first quarter stats from Garth Pleasant Arena. It's the Warriors and the Foresters on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Welcome back on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Stephen McDonald here with you. Warriors trail by 10 after 1. Get to some first quarter stats as the second quarter just about set to get underway here momentarily. Kendall Yoakum, perfect from the floor, 3 of 3, all beyond the arc, 9 points, 1 rebound in that first 10 minutes. Addie Shank added 5 points and 3 rebounds. On the other side for the Warriors, Mila Alls knocked down a triple, has 3 points, but also picked up a pair of fouls as well. Lowry, Bakar, Loon, and Lockie all with 2 points apiece. Pass kicks off the foot of Addie Shank. Drop it inside and flip it up. No, follow up does go for J.C. Summers. Tough shot on that initial look on the run by Simone Andrews. Basically had to throw it up over her head. Layup spins in on the other end for Huntington. Summers racing back the other way for the lay-in. Both sides really pushing the tempo the first 30 seconds of this second quarter, resulting in 3 straight layups up and down the floor. Try to lob it inside, they do, looking for Shank, bumped and fouled. Lowry comes back in for the Warriors. Alls does as well. Lockie and Zider will sit. First free throw is through by Addie Shank. Got both. So far, Shank, as that lay-in falls for Mila Alls. Alls now with 5 points on the game. All 4 free throws, or rather both free throws for Huntington coming from Shank. Those were their first 2 of the game. Warriors have attempted and made all 4 of theirs. Swing it around into the hands of Shank for 3. Doesn't get this one to go. Finds its way in the hands of Andrews. Bounce it for Alls. Pivots, throws it up, no. Loon eyes a 3. This one off the front of the rim. Saw her hit the right side of the rim earlier. And I was correct on the Huntington free throws. They have attempted 4 so far today. The live stats here have not updated to reflect that yet, but Shank, as I was saying, has attempted and made all 4 of them. As there's a whistle and a foul inside, they'll get Loon. Reached in on Liv Raby. Raby with it, backs down Mila Alls. 7:45 to go until halftime, 10 on the possession. Goes outside to Price, flip it this way, extra pass goes down to the post. Raby has it ripped away by Summers. She'll gallop into the front court, now slow things down. 25-17 Huntington. Alls outside Andrews, couple jab steps, rises, confident take, but just off the heel. Three is up and through, rattle it down. Hartso again from deep. Eight to shoot for the Warriors. Alls backs in, throws it up, no. Tried to go get her own miss, and then reaches over and fouls. That'll be her third. Lowry's out there with Loon, Bakar, Summers, and Williams. Crossover dribble, back outside it goes, extra pass, three is up and knock it down for Yoakum. 31-17 Huntington. Yoakum cannot miss. 5 of 5 from the floor, 4 for 4 from three-point range. She's got 14 points as that shot doesn't fall for the Warriors. Yoakum came in averaging 8 points per game through the first 5. She's already got 14 with still 5.5 to go in the half. Shahad Bakar flips it up and it drops. In fact, for her career, Yoakum now in game number 58 of her career, comes in averaging 7.7 points per game for her career, had 9.3 per contest a season ago. Off to an excellent start in this one. That'll be the first on Williams. Lockie will come back in. Ashley Loon will sit down. Zip it down low for Raby. Lay it up, lay it in. Counted in a foul. Correction, they actually called her on the lay-in. Got that arm out there, kind of shoved the defender to clear out some space. Lowry puts her head down and gets to the rim. Back to within 10, still plenty of time left in this first half if you're the Warriors. Shooting at just 33% so far are the Warriors. 3 from the corner, another one. Yoakum just cannot miss. Now a takeaway on the run is Nelson. Layup doesn't go. Foul's going to go on Shahad Bakar, her first. It's 34-21. Kendall Yoakum has not missed. 6 of 6 from the floor, 5 for 5 from three-point range, has 17 points. Warriors, though, still hanging around despite the best efforts of Kendall Yoakum. Mila Alls has 5. Harmon Lowry has 4 points. Shahad Bakar, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. JC Summers, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Huntington shooting at 70% from the floor. 8 of 13, that's 61% from three-point range. .416 to go until half. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Warriors. After this game against Huntington, they'll be back in action in just a couple days on Wednesday the 12th. They'll take on Spring Arbor right here at Garth Pleasant Arena. We'll have that game for you. Then on the 15th, next Saturday, they'll be at Bethel. And then Tuesday the 18th at Defiance before coming back home on the 22nd to take on Northwestern Ohio. That'll be a doubleheader with the Warrior men taking on the Racers that day. The women's contest will get underway at 1 p.m. Eastern on November 22nd. Free throw is through by Annika Nelson. Second free throw tapped out by Lauren Merritt. Warriors come away with it. Bakar into a three from the corner, comes up short. Rebound came all the way back out to midcourt. Spin it over to Sheets, skip it far side of the floor for Yoakum. Back around it goes this way for Sheets, rattle it down. (38-21). Bakar wants another three, doesn't get this one to go either. Rebound comes out to Price. Yoakum for three, cannot be stopped. Seven for seven for Kendall Yoakum, 6 of 6 from beyond the arc, has 20 points on her own. Offensive rebound finds Lockie. And then Lowry unable to hold it on this side of the floor. Pass just got away from her a bit. Huntington is 10 of 15 from three-point range. Layup won't go for Annika Nelson. It was contested by Summers. Pass across midcourt, taken away on the run. Layup spins off for Allison Price. Warriors try to push it up the floor before Huntington can get back. Williams missed the shot. Foul goes on Lockie, her first. Jordan Peterson comes in for the Warriors. First free throw bounces off the rim and off. Huntington already those 10 threes in this first half. Mentioned earlier, as a team so far through 5 games, have made 7 per contest. Came in shooting at about 27% from 3. They're well above both those marks so far this afternoon. Couple head fakes by Williams, takes the shot, doesn't get it to go, but draws the foul. That'll go on Merritt, her second. That'll put Tambry Williams at the free throw line. First one does not fall. Doesn't get the second one either. Ball comes down to Addie Shank. Swing it around the arc to Yoakum. Foul goes on Lowry. Second on Lowry. She'll sit down. Ashley Loon comes back in. (43-21), another free throw coming. Is good. Bakar hands it to Peterson. Three is grazed off the rim. Loon tracked it over in the corner. Peterson gonna drive left, flips it up, no, whistle and a foul. Stops the clock with 1:44 to go in the half. Foul goes on Nelson, her first. First one's good by Peterson. Second one's good as well. Warriors so far 6 out of 8 at the free throw line today. They'll double team the ball out high, ripped away by Peterson. Possible 2-on-1 developing, layup in for Simone Andrews. Put the trap on again. Had Kendra Sheets in some trouble right at midcourt, threw it off the leg of a Warriors player out of bounds. 1:15 to go in the half, 44-25. Swing it around into the hands of Shank. Set it up for Yoakum. Now Shank backs her way to the free throw line. Now Yoakum with 5 to shoot, had it poked loose by Bakar. Now Shank drives with 2 seconds, but an offensive foul. And a scream by Simone Andrews. She's the one that took the charge. .50 seconds to go in the half. Here's Andrews after taking the charge. Peterson bounces it for Williams. Now Andrews crossover dribble, lost it, and just held it in on this side of midcourt with 7 to shoot. Drives, reverses, can't hit. Shot clock is off with 23 seconds to go. Sheets gonna go to work on Andrews, gets switched on to Peterson, now to Tambry Williams, 7 seconds to go in the half. Shank backs her way to the free throw line, 2 to go in the half, Logo 3, knocks it down. My oh my, the 11th three of the half for Huntington comes at the buzzer, and we will go to the half, 47-25. Some first half stats from this one before we send you to the half. Huntington shoots it 68% from the floor, 68.8% from 3, 11 of 16 from the outside. They were led by Kendall Yoakum's 20 points, did not miss in 14 minutes of action in that first half, went a perfect 7 for 7 from the floor, 6 for 6 from three-point range. And for the Warriors, it was Lowry with 6 points and Mila Alls with 5 to lead Rochester Christian. But thanks to 11 threes by the Foresters in the first half, they'll carry the 47-25 lead to the break from Garth Pleasant Arena on the Rochester Christian Sports Network.
It all began in 1937 on this very basketball court in Kansas City. A vision to start something different, something better. A college athletics association where competition wasn't just about the scoreboard, but about character, growth, and rising together. From that first tip-off, the NAIA has grown in size and in spirit, in the way we play, the way we lead, the way we make athletics greater than a game, and all strive to do more and be more. At the NAIA, we take the student and student athlete seriously and focus on the whole person, because individual growth doesn't stop at the final buzzer. Our character-driven athletics empower student athletes to succeed in competition, in class, and in life.
I'm not just preparing for the next game. I'm preparing for what's next.
For NAIA member institutions, small doesn't mean limited. It means limitless. Our schools aren't simply the sum of their teams. They're whole communities that are founded on opportunity, strengthened by tradition, and powered by passion.
Here, we build athletic programs that build lives and legacies.
Through our 29 sports, 21 conferences, 250 member institutions, and 83,000 student athletes, the NAIA fosters a culture of competition and connection in an unstoppable intercollegiate movement where athletics push to new heights and integrity keeps us grounded.
We don't measure success in W's alone. Our greatest victory is the community we create for the student-athlete experience.
Across the NAIA, we play for the love of the game, finding strength in our teammates and gaining inspiration from our challengers.
We know excellence doesn't happen by chance. That's why we built our own playbook for success. From our common sense regulations to our innovative tools like Return on Athletics to our commitment to character development, we help schools not just compete, but thrive.
Our investment goes beyond athletics. We're investing in the future of our student athletes and our schools.
We are bigger than a game, than a record, than a championship. We are the next generation of athletes, leaders, and game changers. It's why we choose the NAIA.
This is college athletics the way it was meant to be. This is the right way to play.
Welcome back to Garth Pleasant Arena. Halftime between the Warriors and the Foresters of Huntington. 47-25 is our score at the break. Huntington used 11 threes in the first half to jump out to this lead. As you take a look at the stats from the first 20 minutes of play, 15 of 22 shooting for Huntington so far, 11 of 16 from beyond the arc. Out-rebounding the Warriors 19-12, but have turned it over 11 times thus far. Yoakum leads all scorers with those 20 points, has yet to miss from the field tonight. Carmen Lowry leads the Warriors with 6, Mila Alls with 5, but also dealing with 3 fouls. We'll step aside, second half just a couple minutes away between the Warriors and the Foresters on the Rochester Christian Sports Network.
It all began in 1937 on this very basketball court in Kansas City. A vision to start something different, something better. A college athletics association where competition wasn't just about the scoreboard, but about character, growth, and rising together. From that first tip-off, the NAIA has grown in size and in spirit, in the way we play, the way we lead, the way we make athletics greater than a game, and all strive to do more and be more. At the NAIA, we take the student and student athlete seriously and focus on the whole person, because individual growth doesn't stop at the final buzzer. Our character-driven athletics empower student athletes to succeed in competition, in class, and in life.
I'm not just preparing for the next game. I'm preparing for what's next.
For NAIA member institutions, small doesn't mean limited. It means limitless. Our schools aren't simply the sum of their teams. They're whole communities that are founded on opportunity, strengthened by tradition, and powered by passion.
Here, we build athletic programs that build lives and legacies.
Through our 29 sports, 21 conferences, 250 member institutions, and 83,000 student athletes, the NAIA fosters a culture of competition and connection in an unstoppable intercollegiate movement where athletics push to new heights and integrity keeps us grounded.
We don't measure success in W's alone. Our greatest victory is the community we create for the student-athlete experience.
Across the NAIA, we play for the love of the game, finding strength in our teammates and gaining inspiration from our challengers.
We know excellence doesn't happen by chance. That's why we built our own playbook for success. From our common sense regulations to our innovative tools like Return on Athletics to our commitment to character development, we help schools not just compete, but thrive.
Our investment goes beyond athletics. We're investing in the future of our student athletes and our schools.
We are bigger than a game, than a record, than a championship. We are the next generation of athletes, leaders, and game changers. It's why we choose the NAIA.
This is college athletics the way it was meant to be. This is the right way to play.
back to Garth Pleasant Arena. Second half just about set to get going here momentarily. 47-25 our score at the end of one half of play. The Rochester Christian men got the day started here from Garth Pleasant Arena with a 96-84 win over St. Francis as part of the Chick-fil-A of Auburn Hills Classic. The Warriors went 1-1 on the weekend, fell here last night 88-77 to 16th ranked Bethel. For our game at hand, third quarter is underway. Huntington starts with it. Flip it to the near corner, driving and laying it in. That was Price on the lay-in. Andrews straight away, Lewin for three. Off the back of the iron, rebound pulled down by the Warriors. But then they say she sat up with it, so it's a travel. Just tried to make that feed from on her back. Lifted up just a little too much. And then on the lay-in by Huntington, before the shot, they say she stepped on the baseline. It'll be a turnover. That'll be number 12 on Huntington. Peterson passes off for Shahad Bakar. Down low it goes for Zeider. Zeider backs in, turns baseline, throws it up, no, whistling a foul underneath. Foul is the third on Raby. Zeider will go to the free throw line, and Kendall Zeider, kind of like she did a couple weeks ago on homecoming, could be in store for an interesting Wednesday here in a couple days. First free throw banks off, as women's volleyball was victorious earlier today against Northwestern Ohio. Second one does fall. And it appears that the volleyball team will be here on Wednesday for the WAC tournament. And women's basketball has a game that day as well against Spring Arbor. Down low, the pass goes for Annika Nelson for two. So Zeider could be pulling double duty once again. Backs her way in here, lost it on the deck, picked up by Price. Leaves it outside, Nelson for three, knocked it down. Count the three for Annika Nelson. She'll step to the free throw line here. Baseline deflected by the Warriors out of play. So they had Nelson at the free throw line there a moment ago. It was just an inbound for Huntington. There's still 13 on the possession clock. Raby outside for Price. Three off the back. Rebound was pulled down by Yoakum. The foul that gave the ball back to Huntington after that 3 just a couple minutes ago. The foul goes on Andrews, her first. Throw it up the floor. Won't get the lay-in to fall for Price. .7:54 to go third quarter. Huntington 7-1 out of the gate to begin the third here, make it 8-1 with the free throw. It was 21-11 Huntington after one, outscored the Warriors 26-14 in the second. They're shooting just about 67% from three-point range, 12 of 18. They're also 8 of 10 at the free throw line, shooting at almost 70% from the floor overall. That shot wildly off the side of the backboard. Warriors come away with it with Simone Andrews, and a blocking foul is going to be called on Allison Price. Clock stops with 7:29 to go in the quarter. Price definitely took a bit of a shot there, trying to race back and defend Simone Andrews. She'll check out. Andrews tosses in on the inbound. Gets it from Zeider just inside the free throw line, comes up short. Rebound down to Raby. Raby averages 10 rebounds per contest so far this year. Hasn't had many so far today, although Huntington, as we just pointed out, hasn't missed a ton. Zeider got the board, comes up floor, lowered the shoulder, and draws the charge. That'll be her third. Summers will come in for Zeider. Here's Raby, straight on and traveled with it. Sixth turnover by Liv Raby today in 14 minutes played. Shahad Bakar has it at the logo for the Warriors. Drives to her left, leaves it for Summers. Saves it from going out of bounds, but saved it to Kendra Sheets. Outside three on the way. Off the rim, offensive rebound put back up and in. Nelson the putback. It's 58-26. Just above the free throw line for Summers for two. Now Sheets, she's got 8 points and 2 assists. The sharpshooter Yoakum, as they swing it around the arc. Raby down low with it, throws it up off the underside of the backboard. And then a kick ball by Hartsoe. Lowry comes in for the Warriors. Shank comes in for Huntington. Lowry with it, far corner, right in front of her own bench, drives, scoops, and has it ripped out of the air by Shank. Ahead to Hartsoe. Flip it back this way to her. Now Hartso again. Stepping back was Sheets. That'll be the second on Loon today. Baseline inbound for Sheets. Mentioned Sheets with those 8 points. She had 13 a couple games ago, had 12 in her last game. 3, knocks it down, right on cue for Kendra Sheets. Sheets had 7 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists in the season opener just a couple weeks ago. Has 11 points and 2 assists so far tonight. That one does run through for Peterson. .420 to go in the third quarter. Bounce it for Raby. She gets 2-time down low. Outside 3. That's the first miss for Yoakum tonight. Was 7 for 7 in the first half and 6 of 6 from beyond the arc. Misses there on the 3. Go right back to her in the corner. Extra pass finds Hartso. In deep with it. They get it back outside. Corner 3 runs off. That was Sheets. And then tapped out of bounds. They say it'll be Warriors basketball. That should send us to the third quarter media timeout. 3:44 to go in the quarter. And it will. 3:44 to go in the third quarter. It's 61-30. Huntington in control. We'll step aside on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. .344 to go in the third quarter. Kendall Yoakum, 20 points, 7 of 8 shooting so far tonight. Kendra Sheets, 11 points, and Annika Nelson with 8 to lead Huntington. On the other side for the Warriors, Lowry and Summers each have 6. Mila Alls has 5. Has dealt with 3 fouls as well. Warriors basketball out of the media timeout. Summers, that's a long 2. Clangs off the front of the rim. Rebound was over there in the corner for Peterson. Lowry leans back with some contact, can't get the shot to fall. Huntington has shot it almost 59% for the game, and they'll add to it with another 3. Hartso with the 3. They've also shot it north of 55% from 3-point range. and it'll only get bigger with that last one. Alls came back in for the Warriors. Merritt came in for Huntington. Hartso gives off to Merritt. Merritt kicks it to the corner. Three didn't go, doesn't matter. Call away from the basketball goes on Huntington. Second on Shank. Comes with 2:30 to go in the third. Huntington 14 made threes so far today. Summers, mid-range 2, one hop off the rim, then grazed the backboard. Hartso thought about it, swing it outside, three from the corner, off the heel. Got the miss in the paint, stepped through and laid it in. That was Tegan Akers with the two. Alls bounces it for Summers, has it ripped away by Akers. But before she ripped it loose from Summers, they say tie up and the possession arrow will stay at this end. Summers turning, can't get the shot to fall. Lowry strips it, has Alls to her left, bounces it that way to the baseline, reverse flip, falls. And before Huntington can advance it, Price will turn it back over to the Warriors. Alls wants a three, too strong, offensive rebound Andrews. Lob it to Alls. Final minute of play, third quarter. She'll pivot, hooks, and it won't fall. Merritt was directing traffic there, handed off to Shank. Outside for Price, she'll drive, lost the handle on the way through. Up ahead for Alls, and she traveled with it, never put it on the floor. One too many steps that time for Mila Alls. Shot clock off, final 20 seconds of the third. Merritt being guarded by Summers. Now Akers gets two-timed by Lockie. Far side of the floor it goes, tapped out of bounds by Andrews. .7 seconds to go in the quarter. Lob it towards the baseline, too strong and too tall for Merritt. Andrews bounces it in for Lowry. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. She'll go all the way to the rim, lay it up, lay it in, counted a foul with .6 seconds. That'll be the third on Merritt. That puts Lowry to the free throw line for the and one. Got the free throw. And at the end of three, it's Huntington 66 and the Warriors 35. Huntington's been led by Kendall Yoakum, who had 7 field goals, 6 of them from three-point range, all back in the first half of play. She had 20 points at the break. She still sits at those 20 points currently. Kendra Sheets also in double figures with 11 on 4 of 6 shooting and 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. On the other side for the Warriors, they're led by Carmen Lowry's 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists as well for her. Mila Alls with 7 points, JC Summers with 6. But again, it's been the 3-point barrage by Huntington here this evening that's been too much for the Warriors to overcome. They're 14 of 25 from three-point range. That's good for 56% on the night. We'll take a quick timeout, come back for the fourth on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Huntington will begin the fourth up 66-35. Nelson working to her left, swing it around to Yoakum. Back to Raby, 8 to shoot, looking for somewhere to go with it, finds Yoakum just above the free throw line, has it blocked by Zeider. Drop it off to Mila Alls. Extra pass finds Summer. Missed on the layup. And then knocked away. It'll be Warriors basketball. Simone Andrews tries to underhand flip with the left hand, just lost it on the way up. No deflection there, so it's Huntington basketball. They'll double team the basketball in the backcourt. Huntington able to break it, find Yoakum, corner three, knock it down. Seventh three of the night for Kendall Yoakum. Zeider gonna back her way in on Raby, throws it up, doesn't go. Yoakum 8 of 10 from the floor overall. Gets the pass here from Sheets, able to break the pressure into the corner for three again. Rebound tapped for a moment there by Nelson, but the Warriors control. Simone Andrews on the run. Bounce it for Alls, who lost it trying to drive. Peterson and Bakar come in for the Warriors. 8-12 to go in the basketball game. Corner three is up, and once again for Kendall Yoakum. Peterson lowers the shoulder. Threw up a hook shot, couldn't go. Now weaving her way into the front court is Sheets. Hartso back to Sheets, stepped back with that foot and traveled with it.
Number 11, J.C. Summers.
Alls bounces for Summers, who just came in for Zider, gets it right back to Alls, lays it up, scores it, and a foul. Foul is the fourth on Raby. Raby, 4 fouls, has also turned it over 6 times tonight. Thought about the 3, did Yoakum. At this point, why not? She's 8 of 9 from 3-point range tonight. Sheets with it. 7 minutes to go in the game. Yoakum for 3. Off the heel and out of play. Had to put it up with 4 to shoot. And that's been the kind of game that Kendall Yoakum has had tonight. Every time she goes into a shot, her bench gets all energized, as it feels like every time she lets one go, it could drop for her. On the run off the steal, can't get the shot to fall for Hartso. Nelson picks up the foul, that's her second. 6:36 to go. Lockie. Alls turns, passes off to Summers. Got it. Warriors pressuring again. Alls with the takeaway. Lost the handle on the floor. Tie up in possession arrow will stay with the Warriors. The basket a moment ago on that last possession for Summers gives her 8 points on 4 of 8 shooting. Also has a couple rebounds and 1 assist as well. 2 steals on the night for her as she gets it here from Shahad Bakar. Now Summers into a 3. Off the rim. Foul's going to go on Sheets, her second. Bakar stops in the middle of the paint, fires and scores. It was 47-25 Huntington at the half as they send it into the corner. A rainbow 3 falls for Peyton Hartso. They outscored the Warriors back in the third, 19-10. And with that 3 now outscoring Rochester Christian 9-6 here in the fourth. Hartso just tosses it outside and finds Raby. Another 3, that one's through. Yoakum. And we've got a timeout called by the Warriors. 5:04 to go in the game, 78-41. Hartsoe knocks down a three, Yoakum knocks down a three, and the Warriors call time. That was the 18th three of the night for Huntington. They're 18 of 31 tonight on threes. For Yoakum, 9 of 11 from three-point range. For Hartsoe, now 4 of 7 from distance. Yoakum 29 points, Hartsoe 12. Kendra Sheets has 11. For the Warriors, it's Lowry with 9. Mila Alls has 9 as well. And JC Summers has 8 on 4 of 9 shooting. We'll take a quick timeout. 5:04 to go in the game on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. .504 to go in the game, 78-41 Huntington. And it's always good when we're here at Garth Pleasant Arena to see former Warriors around the arena at games as the floater sticks for Shahad Bakar out of the timeout called by Rochester Christian. A couple weeks ago on homecoming, had Celeste Mershimer in the building that day, former Warrior. Earlier today during the men's contest, we saw Brett White sitting courtside as well. Always fun when players come back and watch the teams. Loon gets the floater to go. Couple buckets for the Warriors after the timeout. Shahad Bakar thought she had a steal, had a clear runway had it not been a foul. That'll be her second. And speaking of another former Warrior as well, saw Angelina Haysha earlier before the men's game as well. Was a grad transfer to the team here last season. 4:17 to go in the game. It's 78-45 Huntington. We'll step aside for another timeout on the floor on the Rochester Christian Sports Network. Back out of the timeout, 4:17 to go in the game. That's been controlled by Huntington. And the three-point shooting of the Foresters. That hook shot by Schenk offline. Third and final game of the day from Garth Pleasant Arena. Warrior men got things started back at 1 Eastern today, taking on St. Francis. Picked up a win to go to 3-1 on the young season. Schenk got her own miss, tight to the baseline. 9 seconds on the possession. Lucy Freitag into the game for Rochester Christian. 23 in the white, picks up the foul. Want to give a shout out to our SID Andrew Ripke and public address announcer Mark Stowers. Those two have worked all 3 games here today. Just the 2 games today for yours truly. 3:40 to go in the game. Inbound comes out to Merritt. Hands off for Yoakum. Yoakum driving on Loon, gets to the baseline, throws it up, no. Rebound down the other side for Peterson. She'll race coast to coast and lay it in. Peterson just got that rebound, put her head down and went to work and got rewarded with the layup. Then a bump and a foul will be called on Kellenberger, who's come in.
Foul Warriors number 14, Elena Kellenberger, her first. 84.
So on the floor for the Warriors, it's Bakar, Peterson, Elena Kellenberger, who picked up the foul, Loon and Freitag, who picked up a foul just a couple moments ago. Pass intercepted by Freitag. Bakar turns, bounces it for Freitag. She'll go in. A little too much on that shot. And then Kellenberger is going to pick up her second. That'll be the Warriors' 5th. So Huntington will get a free throw. It'll be Addie Shank at the free throw line. For Shank tonight, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Average just about 10.5 points per game coming in. Also just under 8 rebounds per contest. After playing 31 games a year ago as a freshman, averaging 14 minutes per game last season. Final 2:40, 79-47 Huntington. Yoakum was being harassed defensively by Ashley Loon. Bounce it down low, good look, finished off by Merritt. Loose on the floor right at the free throw line, picked up there by Yoakum. Ahead for Price, extra pass for 3 and it's through. Tegan Akers. The 3-point onslaught not going to end until that final buzzer sounds, it seems. About 80 seconds to go, 84-47. Huntington, 19 threes on the night. As Loon gets the 2 for the Warriors. Final minute from Garth Pleasant Arena. Outside, one more 3 is up. Not going to go this time. That was by Price. Loon on the run, drops it off, and the lay-in falls. Lucy Freitag for 2.
Time for substitution. Checking in, number 2, Reagan Zyder. And number 32, Brianna Reeves.
Amal Eunice came in a couple minutes ago for the Warriors as Coach Ocampo has gone to his bench here these final few minutes. Also in for the Warriors. That was Reagan Zeider, the freshman guard, younger sister of Kendall. Official checked on some things over at the scorer's table quickly. We're good to go. Final 45 seconds. So on the floor for the Warriors as another three's up and knock it down. One final tally for Kendall Yoakum. For the Warriors, it's Eunice, Reagan Zeider, Kellenberger, Freitag, and Rihanna Reeves. Another three for Yoakum gives her 32, 10 of 12 from three-point range, 11 of 15 from the floor overall. At times felt like she just simply could not miss, as Eunice will step to the free throw line for the Warriors. Warriors' next game will come this Wednesday against Spring Arbor. Currently slated for 6 o'clock right here at Garth Pleasant Arena, but again, with it looking like the women's volleyball team will host a tournament game that same day, that time for the basketball game could get adjusted accordingly, as the volleyball game would take place at 7. Price will bring it across the timeline. Shot clock is off, so she can just dribble this one out. 87-52 is going to be your final score. Some final stats in this one before we sign off. It was the 32-point outburst by Kendall Yoakum, knocking down 10 threes in the win to lead her team. Peyton Hartsoe, 12 points. Kendra Sheets, 11 to pace Huntington. On the other side for the Warriors, Carmen Lowry, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Mila Alls, 9 points, battling those 3 fouls. Shahad Bakar, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. JC Summers, 8 points and 2 boards. But again, 23s for the Huntington Foresters here tonight, just overpowering Rochester Christian from the start. And so for our SID, Andrew Ripke, I'm Stephen MacDonald saying so long from Garth Pleasant Arena, where your final score one final time is Huntington 87, Rochester Christian 52. This has been a presentation of the Rochester Christian Sports Network.